Hey guys, welcome to the Bird's Nest. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The season is upon us, and the recaps start next weekend. So subscribe so that you can get those little notifications letting you know when your girl comes on. I'm not gonna be that everyday girl, but I'll be your weekly girl. I might come on, a couple times a week. Maybe I'll do a college recap, which I'm only looking at two teams. I'm not that big on college, but I am a CU auntie. And I'm also going to be watching Arch Manning this year. So I will watch all of their games and I'll recap them. And then maybe next weekend, I will also do let y'all know what NFL teams I'm going to be following this year. And so go ahead and subscribe so you can be tuned in. All right. So let's get down to it. Our boy Shador Sanders had what I'm praying will be his last game in Cleveland. Please let it be. Look, Kevin Stefanski doesn't want him, and if they keep him, we're gonna see what happens this week. We're gonna, this week the rosters are being set, so we're gonna find out if they keep Shedeur or they trade him or they cut him, waive him, whatever the case may be. If they keep him, I'll feel like the collusion's still going on. Why would a team that doesn't want him? Why would they keep him? So if they do keep him, it's to stifle him. Keep him at the back of the depth chart. You see that Stefanski did him no favors in this game. Him balling out in his first game didn't earn him anything because he got injured. He didn't get to stack it. And even if he had in the previous game, if he played and Dylan played, I believe that Kevin would have done the same thing that he did before, which is that he did today, which is throw Shedeur out there with all the guys that are getting cut this week. That's who Shedeur played with. That was his O-line, was the guys that are getting cut this week. I believe he'd have been playing with them last week because, as we know, Dylan was also QB2 last week. He has never moved from QB2. So even after Shedeur's great game, the previous game, Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel kept their position on the depth chart, and Shedeur kept his at QB4. So it was going to be the same thing last week as this week. Kevin was not going to give him the opportunity to stack those performances. He was stuck in that first preseason game because no one was available. And so he had to let Shedeur play with the twos. And playing with the twos is enough for Shedeur to ball out. Forget about what he would look like with the ones, ain't no telling. But with the twos, hey, he balled out already. Can you imagine it getting better than it already was? I know they tried to convince us with their advanced analytics that somehow Dylan was better than him, but that's all a Jedi mind trick. And if you want to know about Jedi mind tricks, aka propaganda perpetrated by the press, check out G. Bush's YouTube video from earlier today. Boy, he schooled us today on that propaganda, which has been going against Shedeur, just for those games, so that Dylan could look better. So I'm actually overjoyed that Shedeur didn't play well today with no protection. He did not play well. And so at least I don't have to hear about advanced analytics. As a matter of fact, once they make the 53-man roster, that's the only, I have no reason to look at Cleveland anymore. I think I said in the previous video that I already unfollowed all of their social media. I am not a Cleveland fan. I have no interest in them whatsoever. That was the only team, along with the Raiders. I don't want him in Vegas. Vegas is not a good place for a young person, but I did not want him going to the Browns. And of course, that's where he wound up. So now I don't have to watch them anymore, thank God. I don't have to listen to their crazy fans. I have my own delusional fan base. I'm a Panthers fan. And I have to deal with us thinking that Bryce Young is something. So enough of that. I can't have two teams with delusional fans, okay? Please make it stop. So it gets to stop today. And funny, it didn't even pop up on my algorithm. Normally, because I've searched Shedeur multiple times every single day, my algorithm, I can just pull it up, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and it'll be full of Shedeur. For some reason, with a game going on today, Shedeur was not on my timeline, and I was kind of happy for that. I knew what the fans were doing. I knew they were ripping him apart, and that's okay. They ripped Dylan apart last week. And I didn't want to see that. I don't want to see that for either of those guys. Unlike some, I'm not going to drag down Dylan because he's competing with Shedeur. He's the guy that Kevin Stefanski wants. And Kevin Stefanski has the right to want who he wants. But they made him take whoever they is, whether it be Andrew Berry, which I don't believe for 1 second, or if it was the collusion that said, you're going to take Shedeur. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Dog's barking. If it was the collusion that made him take Shedeur, whatever it was, no one ever implied that Kevin Stefanski wanted Shedeur, and Kevin has shown that he does not want Shedeur. So that's fine. He's got the right to make that decision. Look, let Cleveland do what Cleveland does, honey. Stay the worst team in the league. Kevin Stefanski, you can put the top quality franchise quarterback right under his nose and he will not smell it. And that's fine. So I won't have anything else to say about him. I would never say anything about Dylan. He has the right to live his dream just like every other football player. He has the right to compete for the job. And Kevin has the right to try to make him look good in a preseason game. Okay? Good luck to him in the NFL. Good luck to Kenny Pickett, another one being handed a job. And again, I won't be watching, but I bet you Flacco will get pulled as soon as Kenny's healthy because those are Stefanski's guys. Flacco is not Stefanski's guy. I saw somebody make a comment on Twitter that Flacco and Dylan were laughing on the sideline as if Flacco was against Shedeur. Flacco is not against Shedeur. Let's not be outrageous. Let's not be delusional. Flacco and Shedeur are cool. And there's nothing wrong with Flacco giving Dylan, dapping him up or whatever and saying, good job, Rook. What y'all want him to do? Turn his back on him? So, hey, it's over. My hope is it's over forever. I am dreaming and praying that Shedeur will be cut from this team. I don't care what happens to him. If he goes to the CFL, I'm going with him. I'm buying his jersey. I'm be going to games. Just like I did this one. I went to his first game and I went to the second game. He didn't wind up playing. I got to see Dylan play. Okay. I'm going wherever he goes. And I bet you a lot of fans are. So I want him gone from Cleveland. Not even because they suck, but because they don't want him. They're not going to develop him. And so I'd like to see him be gone. And I don't know if that requires another presidential pardon. Guys, I always forget about the fact that Donald Trump tweeted on Shedeur's behalf during the draft. Maybe he needs another presidential pardon just for them to say, look, please, let him be gone from the Browns. You can't just keep him on the Browns when they don't want him. Let him go, and let him go to a team that can develop him and billionaire owner of that particular team. Please, let him play. Develop him. Let him be, he might be a franchise quarterback. Check it out. Stop stifling that boy because you don't like his personality. It's so weird to me, guys. I just don't understand. Like, they will be really, really upset with Shedeur for his legendary chain. That one in particular. Oh my God, they hate that legendary thing. He is legendary. And y'all making him legendary. You know what I think of Shedeur? I was like, Shedeur is like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, except he's them combined. In my humble opinion, Shedeur is bigger than both of them. Somebody tried to argue me down that he's not, but I think he is. For one thing, he plays a bigger sport than them. Shedeur is bigger than both of them. He's them combined. Caitlin doesn't really have the social media presence, and Angel doesn't have the skill. No offense. She been balling out lately, though. Not consistently, but whatever. She getting there. Anyway, but Shedeur has both. The skill and the social media presence. And the big, huge endorsement deals. But what he really is It's not Caitlyn. It's the combination Caitlyn. He's Katniss Everdeen. That's who he is. The NFL are what did you call those? I don't know what you call those people in the Hunger Games. The government. Snow. The NFL is Snow. They're trying to bury Shedeur alive and profit off of you looking at it. He's Katniss Everdeen, and they making him, just like Katniss, a bigger and bigger star by treating him so badly. So now you're making him a big star. I hope I'm doing the mic now. I normally have to talk loud because I don't have a mic, but now I got a mic. Oh my God, am I yelling? Anyway, so the draft. I've been watching Shador for 2 years, and he had a big fan base already, but that draft made him blow up even more. And then the first game made him blow up even more. It's the NFL. And then the NFL and the Cleveland Browns promoting him on their social media make him blow up even more. So they blowing him up, blowing him up, blowing him up, just so we can watch them tear him down and make money from it. So I'm so happy to be done with that part. I've been doing that since I think May. Rookie minicamp started in May. Since May, I've been giving clicks, views, comments to the Cleveland Browns and the NFL because of Shedeur. And I'm finally free of that. And y'all should be free of it too. I hope that you all will not even mention the Cleveland Browns. Let their fan base flourish. Who cares about them? Shedeur will not be playing with them. No need to hate watch them like people are hate watching Shedeur because he's Katniss Everdeen and you want to see his destruction. Leave him alone. I already got my jersey. I'm good. I'm happy. Whether he gets traded or not, I'm happy I got his first jersey. I have a t-shirt. I want that t-shirt, but I'm praying that he'll get traded and he can get a similar t-shirt on a new team. I was hoping, like some people were saying, this game could have been an audition for the Rams, and that would have been awesome. Because we got the Rams on the table because their quarterback is injured, and he has one of those injuries that can change your career. That back is something else. You get an injury to that back. So right now they don't know when he's coming back. They need a quarterback, a backup quarterback that maybe could steal the job. The Saints still need a quarterback. The Steelers still need a quarterback. The Colts need a quarterback right now. Shedeur won't be ready to play for the first game because he's been wasting his time in Cleveland not being developed. So he would have to go there and get developed. And I'd figure, after a month, he might be ready to play. So I'm praying. Best case scenario for me this week is that Shedeur will be cut. Traded, I don't care. And I don't care where he goes. Whether he goes to another NFL team, which I know he desperately wants, or he goes to a different league. I'm following him wherever he goes. And I bet you everybody else is too. So, all to the good. As long as he gets traded. If they keep him, then I got to regroup. I'm always thinking, like, I am so delusional and emotionally attached to Shedeur. I be plotting what my next move going to be if they keep screwing him over. Like, do I need to arrange a protest? Do I need to start a class action lawsuit? Like, what do I need to do? What we need to do? In fact, to a much lesser extreme, I'm like, it's time for Shedeur to get an agent. Okay, normally you don't need an agent. You don't want an agent. I don't know how long of a contract you need to sign with an agent, but he needs an agent to work on his behalf. There are things that Shedeur needs to do. And the number one thing, I don't know if it's possible to get in front of the billionaires. I don't know if his agent could start making calls that could reach the billionaires, but he's got to smooth it over with the billionaires. I don't know what happened in those interviews, Whatever it was, people want to say it was nothing and act like it was nothing, but something pissed them off so much that they rather not profit from him than profit from him. They're gonna make profits anyway. That's the thing about the NFL, and they're out of control. And those billionaires, y'all do know that they run everything, right? Like you go to the grocery store and you think in your town that there's a bunch of grocery stores and they're all different. No, they be owned all by some billionaire. And not only does he own all those grocery stores, but he owns various other huge businesses. Like several of them in the same category, all under. That's who the billionaires are. And Shador pissed them off. It can't just be his necklace. And I know they don't like the necklace because they be on Jalen Hurts behind. He's a Super Bowl winning champ, and I bet you it won't change. They'll still keep talking doo-doo about him. I don't know what it is about our flashiness that bothers them so much. It doesn't hurt anybody. That's what I say on Twitter. I like jewelry, bird, diamonds. I like that. We like that. I don't know. It's part of our culture. Look at people in Africa, how ornamental their clothes are, bright, flashy. That's part of our culture. Why does that bother you so much? Is it unconscious bias? Surely that legendary, his legendary slogan, his legendary necklace, his flashiness, surely that can't be the only reason that they came out and tried to stomp this boy out of the league. That can't be it. So I'm assuming that he really did do a bad job on those interviews, made them feel a type of way. They have so much power over those athletes, most of whom come from poor backgrounds, the black ones in particular. And they had absolute power over them, and they yanked them around like puppets all the time. They've been colluding against them since forever. And whenever they do it and it comes out, no one talks about it. They don't care about it. They figure the billionaires are always right. Like they respect the billionaire. I respect them. You know, if you didn't inherit it and you worked for it like Jay-Z, but Jay-Z just a baby billionaire. No. Those guys be real billionaires. They don't have 2 billion teeny tiny dollars. They got 30, 40, 50, $100 billion. These guys are really rich and they're very powerful. And how dare Shedeur think that those lowly players that they have zero respect for come in there and ask questions. Question them about losing all the damn time. They don't care about losing because they're going to make buku money no matter what, whether they win or lose. I guess if you win a Super Bowl, it's great bragging rights, but the Browns ain't winning no Super Bowl no time soon, so what does Haslam care? As long as he keeps making money off his team, that's all. Hey, profit is the name of the game. So we can yank these players around all we want. And I was saying earlier how I don't like these fully guaranteed contracts, and I still don't. I don't like them, but it's not like the league can't afford them. They can't afford them. They keep making more money, and they don't want to give any more to the players. And I don't even say you need to give them guaranteed contracts. I don't believe in that, guys. I mean, you can give them, like they give these rookies guaranteed contracts. It's not much money. But when you're getting up into the hundreds of millions of dollars, I think that's going too far. That's my personal opinion on that. One thing I'd like to see them get is health care for the rest of their life. Free for the rest of their lives. If you play a certain number of years, you get free health care for the rest of your life. That's what I'd like to see. They don't even do that. And when the players get sick from their brain injuries, when they're older, they be fighting them tooth and nail not to pay their bills. So that's how they treat players. That's how they regard players, and we let them. That's what be making me think I need to organize a protest or something. Because we can't just keep accepting what these people do to these players. But you know what? If the players aren't fighting for themselves, what we supposed to do? They got them over a barrel. A lot of those guys without NFL, they're not rich. So they scared to say or do anything. People thinking that the players were conspiring against Shedeur today. Why would they do that? Those guys want to make the team so bad. You see how my boy Aiden did. Our boy Aiden was balling out. Aiden Huntington, I believe his last name is. We met him on Shador's live stream. That's one of Shador's rookie friends, undrafted free agents, who Shedeur said those are his favorites. Aiden is one of them. 45, run it up. That's his ad. He balled out today. And he needed to, because the fact that he was out there at the same time as Shedeur means that he's on the chopping block. But he balled out, so I'm hoping that can get him on the practice squad at least. I didn't even recognize. I've been watching rookie minicamp on OTAs, mandatory minicamp, training camp, and the people that Shedeur was playing with today, I did not recognize their names. Who are those people? So those are the people that are going home this week. They're going to get cut. And most of them will not get picked up by somebody else, and they'll go on to live their lives. Hopefully they got them a college degree, or the money you earned during the season going back, get you that college degree, and so you can have a good job type thing. That's where those guys are going. That's who Shedeur was playing with today. So I'm not upset. I'm so happy that he didn't have to do a press conference today. Him or Dylan didn't have to do it. I'm happy about that, because I know he was upset. It was clear that he was in his head today, and there was really nothing he could do. Like, his O-line was not protecting him. And it's not their fault. They're doing the best they can, but they aren't NFL quality players. So, there was nothing that Shedeur could do but throw the ball away a bunch of times, and he should have did that. He's going to take hits for the fact that he kept running backwards with the ball like he used to do that first season in Colorado, and probably the second season too, but to a lesser extent. I had never seen Shedeur look that bad before. This is the worst I've ever seen him look. I've never seen him look anywhere near this bad before. So I don't think his head was in the game, but even if it was, there was nothing he could do. The O-line totally broke down. Receivers weren't catching balls, whoever they were. I don't even know who those people were. They weren't catching balls. They was dropping them. They weren't getting open. So there was nothing he can do. There was no way. And then Kevin Stefanski wasn't playing the best calls for him. He doesn't get to do a bunch of checkdowns like Dylan. He didn't get to do it in the first game, and he didn't get to do it in the second game. But because his situational awareness is so high in that first game, he had the staff to make things happen with the plays that Stefanski was calling for him. He wasn't calling a bunch of short little passes for him like he'd been doing for Dylan the past two games. But this time, with no quality players around him, he never got in the zone. So, and I don't care. It would have been nice to see him ball out, but he didn't have the weapons to do it, and I'm okay with that. I still know that he's QB1. He already showed us that in the first game when he had real football players, real NFL football players. So that's that. So now we're on trade watch. That boy needs an agent. He needs an agent to smooth things over with the Billionaires and see if he can get that boy traded to a team that actually wants him, or out the league. I'm okay with that. They tell me that's how Warren Moon started in the CFL, balled out, and then made his way to the NFL. Same thing. The Panthers' backup quarterback went down with some injury or something in the preseason, and they got a guy from the CFL. He's the MVP from the CFL. And he is in the best position to steal a quarterback job because Bryce Young is not good. So I don't have any problem with Shedeur taking the CFL route. I will follow him. So whatever happens to him, to me, The best case scenario this week is for him to get out of Cleveland. The worst case scenario is for him to stay in Cleveland, where the coach doesn't want him. He's never going to play, guys. Ever. Despite the fact that they have a quarterback room full of backups who I don't expect to perform this year. None of them. Flacco is not good. No matter how he looked in the game today, practice, whatever. He's not good anymore, and he's 40. He's not Tom Brady. His Super Bowl that he won was 12 years ago. And shortly after that, someone stole his quarterback position. Kenny Pickett was never anything. Stefanski likes him because Stefanski doesn't know how to pick quarterbacks. Dillon is a solid little backup. Maybe. We don't know. We haven't seen him play against any ones during preseason. So we don't really know. We'll know if he ever gets an opportunity in Cleveland. And he probably will because they play a lot of quarterbacks. Flacco's not going to be it. I suspect they're going to take Flacco out as soon as Kenny is done, feeling better. And even if they don't take him out when Kenny is feeling better, it'll be after Flacco keeps losing games and throwing interceptions, which he also does. And then they'll put Kenny in, and we'll see how Kenny does. He'll lose a few games, you know. Who knows how many they'll let him lose? Maybe 10, because that's who Stefanski wants to be his guy. So maybe he needs to get a really big, size, sample size to determine if Kenny is the future of the Browns. And then after Kenny, they'll go to Dillon. And I don't expect Dillon to do well. He's a little guy and he's a rookie. And all those little short check down plays that Stefanski was calling for him, that's not going to work against real NFL games. So we don't even know what Dillon's going to do. And then who knows? Maybe at the end of the season, a couple games left, and the season's totally lost. They throw Shedeur in there, having gotten no reps with the ones because he's not getting any reps. They don't get reps through the season. The reps are over. The reps Shedeur got today, those worthless reps he got today, are the last reps that he'll be getting this season. Unless and until he becomes QB1 at the end of the season with 2 games left. Then, in practice, he will practice with the ones. But from here on out, QB1 will be practicing with the ones and twos, and QB2 will get a sprinkling of reps. A very small sprinkle of reps will go to QB2, and the rest of them will not even suit up for games. We will not see Shedeur in a Browns uniform for quite some time. So, it's over. Stop engaging their social media. Don't let them profit from Shedeur. Don't let them enslave him. Ignore them. Don't argue with their fans. Leave them alone. And let's just keep our fingers crossed that he gets traded and the owners decide to get their foot off his neck. In the meantime, good luck to you and your regular team. And wish me and my Panthers luck. Keep pounding. Y'all have a good rest of your weekend. Please, again, like, comment, and subscribe. And I appreciate you for watching. Mwah.